What's going on, everybody? Severin7 here, and today I've got a super powerful Boros list for you that has just been dominating the ladder and getting me ranked super fast. And here it is. We've got Cosmo Boros, I'm calling it. It is a Boros deck built around Cosmogrand Zenith and double spelling and being aggressive and just punishing our opponent for not having enough removal quickly enough. And this deck is fast, and I've played 15 games with it so far, and I'm 12-3. So that's very impressive stats so far, and it's just a really fast deck, and we're going to see if we can get out of Platinum today and into Diamond. Let's go over the deck list really quickly. So we've got in our 1-drop slots 3 Lightstall Inquisitors as just a solid 2/1 Vigilance that can disrupt our opponent's hand a little bit. Warden of the Inner Sky. I know a lot of people might look at this list and think that, you know, Warden might not be super great here, but a lot of times we're saving these 1-drops to double spell with Cosmogrands later. And playing a Warden as your second spell after you play a Cosmogrand, or playing a Warden with the Cosmogrand on the battlefield, a lot of times you can tap those extra creatures that you make from Cosmogrand Zenith and put some counters on it and scry. Now, Cosmogrand Zenith is what we're kind of built around. So she's a 2/4 for 3. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, we're going to make either 2 1/1 white human soldiers, or we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control. So she can either grow our board by making it wider, or she can grow our board by making it bigger. So it just depends on what we need at the moment, and that flexibility is really nice. And then she's a very solid body for 3 mana to begin with. So we're supporting that with a couple of things. Raging Battle Mouse is the first one. So Raging Battle Mouse is probably a forgotten card from Wilds of Eldraine that is a 2 mana 2/1 and lets us get a 1 mana discount on our second spell each turn, and then it has Celebration. If 2 or more permanents have entered the battlefield, we get to put +1/+1 on a creature till end of turn. And it's very easy to trigger this with things like Voice of Victory or the tokens from Cosmogrand Zenith. They're just playing 2 creatures in 1 turn. We also have a little bit of a Discover package and 3 geological appraisers and 2 Quintorius cans. These will let us double spell for 1 card each, which is very nice. And this also plays really nicely with Sage of Skies. So Sage of Skies is a 3 mana 2/3 with flying and lifelink that if we've already cast a spell this turn, it copies itself. So we get 2 2/3 flying lifelink monks, and it's a fantastic card to discover into with Geological Appraiser. And sometimes we can even kind of chain and use Quintorius to discover 4, which will hit a Geological Appraiser, which will then hit and just go absolutely ham. We can do a lot with just a very little bit of mana thanks to Raging Battle Mouse. And then War Leader's Call is sort of an additional way to pump up the team and deal some damage for all the little tokens that we're getting. We've got a couple of Glory Heart links in here for some life gain, just to help us find land to make sure we're hitting our land drops. And then the Voice of Victories help keep our opponent from countering our things and removing things during our turn. As far as removal goes, we've got 3 Burst Lightnings and 3 Get Lost. We're very all in on being an aggressive deck, so not a ton of removal here, but just enough to get things out of our way. And Burst Lightning, I feel like, is really good because it just gives us 4 damage later in the game sometimes when we're just missing those crucial last points of damage. As far as the land base goes, we've got a Mountain Monastery and a Dalkovan Encampment because they're very easy for these to come in untapped, because both of them require either a plains or a mountain, and we have lots of plains and mountains with Sacred Foundries and the Elegant Parlor, and then the basics themselves. And then we've got a single Restless Bivouac as a man land to help us win through board clears and things like that, and Fountain Port for a similar reason. And that is the deck. It is very fast, it's very strong, and it has felt great so far. And if you like this deck and you find the games fun and exciting, I hope you'll take a quick moment to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Every single one of those gets me closer to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. So we're going to put it through another 15 games for 30 total and see where we land. Let's get right into those games. All right, let's see if we can get out of Platinum today. Randomizer, the pack leader. This looks good to me. Keep. Dalkovan Encampment for the opponent. We will shock in a Foundry, play Lightstall Inquisitor, exile something out of their hand. What is that? Alright, Vengeful Bloodwitch. So we're dealing with Orzhov Sacrifice here. Forsaken Miner. right, Warden. No attacks. Voice of Victory, sure. Definitely just block here. Opponent probably didn't think that through. Inspiring Vantage. We'll go ahead and get War Leader's Call down. Get in here. If he wants to double block, I'm totally fine with that. That sets us up next turn for Cosmogrand, Inquisitor, ping a whole bunch, put counters on Warden, all that fun stuff. Infestation Sage, sure. Opponent's gonna get in with Voice of Victory, and I don't... They must have Raise the Past in their hand, is the only thing I can think of here. Servandum, very big. Cosmogrand, Ping, Inquisitor, exile that last thing out of their hand. Make some tokens. Ping, ping. All right, got the Raise the Past out of their hand. Beautiful. Sure, we'll keep Warden on top because that lets us double spell next turn. And we'll pass. Vengeful Blood Witch from the opponent. Opponent gets in for 6 and 2 and 1. We will block the Miner, take the rest. Because I don't want to give him the 1/1 flyer. Alright, Encampment, Warden. If we get rid of the Bondum, he's going to get rid of the War Leader's Call most likely. But that's fine, because I'm going to put counters on everything. Attack. Now we are, you know, if he draws like Sephiroth or something, we're probably in trouble. Or if he draws a sack outlet. He's blocking with the Blood Witch, thankfully, so at the very least, we're not dead to Blood Witch triggers, unless he just top decks. Even if he does top deck Vengeful Blood Witch, I think we're fine. I mean, Erase the Past, and he has a land in hand. He does find a land, but it's tapped. There we go. All right, it was a little close, but we got there. GG's. All right. Bex PT. Let's do it. Need a land, but we're going to take a little bit of pain here, but hopefully the links can help us regain some of that. Pay 2, play Warden. Swamp for the opponent. Play links. Get in for 1. Momentum breaker. All right, we'll sacrifice the warden here. Battle mouse. Saddle the battle mouse. Get in. Get a planes. And at this point, if he plays another breaker, we'll sacrifice the links, I think. Or something like that. We want to keep the battle mouse. Beautiful. So we're gonna play Zenith. Play Warden. Make 1/1s. Get in for 3. Bandit's talent. That is annoying. Let's hope he doesn't have another one. Of course he does. Hey, let's hope he doesn't have another one of that thing I don't want him to have. Oh, let's just give it to him. Makes sense. I guess let's just get in with everything. Hold on to get lost so we can hopefully double spell next turn if he doesn't make us discard it. If he does, then maybe we'll just get lost one of the talents or something. Or I'll get lost one of my tokens to give me the maps. And we have lethal if he doesn't get rid of something here, so. Thought Stalker Warlock. We haven't taken damage yet, so I can destroy that in response to the trigger. That might be game. If he has another edict, he lives for another turn. I would have hit the mouse personally, but that's just my, you know. Oh, look. Lethal. GG. Ah, Cosmogrand, such a fun card. Alright. Magic. 777. Sorry about that. Phone's ringing. Get down, Lights All Inquisitor. Exiles. I get lost. That's always good. Making removal more expensive is never bad. Miner's Guidewing, huh? So let's go ahead and get down Advantage. Trying to figure out what he'd be playing with this. I'm gonna attack. Because the way I look at it is that if this removes his 1-drop and gets rid of and taxes a removal spell, that's worth 1 mana to me. Beautiful, beautiful turn here. So we're gonna play War Leader's Call. Get in for 3. And then next turn, depending on what he does, we'll either Burst Sage or Burst Cosmogram Burst. Sheltered by ghosts. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get in for 2 here. And since I'm banking on him caring about his lifelink, I think I'm just gonna try to burst this Healer's Hawk. Get my War Leader's Call back. Sure. Opponent gets in. Pay the ward. Opponent gains no life. Go ahead and play Cosmogram. Get in for 3. Put the opponent down to 11. Opponents they get lost Cosmogram. Makes sense. Ruin Lurker Bat, so they've got some lifelink on the board again. I think that's a pretty sweet turn, don't you? Get in for 3. Making 3/3/4 flyers in the air and pinging the opponent for 3 for 6 mana. Seems like a good value. Leyline of Hope. Definitely better when it's in your opening hand. Although they didn't really have a whole lot of life gain going on. So we were pretty fortunate in that aspect. Linda, or Linden, sorry. I like to call her Linda. Oh, there's his payoffs. But that's not going to be good enough, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get some counters. Nope, not on that one. There we go. And then Bivouac. Counter here. That should be GG's. Well, if he blocks with everything, he takes 3. So I mean, he loses his whole board, so it's basically GG's. We keep all our flyers. Unless that one card is a board clear, I think we're good. Yep. GG. Beautiful, beautiful game. Digital Justice. I've got justice for you. This looks good to me. Opponent is going first. We will keep. Starting town for the opponent, and Llanowar. We will first lightning that Llanowar. Alright, we're gonna play Battle Mouse here. Does he have removal for said Battle Mouse? No? Okay. There's some kind of stick there, so he's got something he can cast at instant speed in his hand. Rule. So landfall, maybe? Well, looks like maybe just mid-range. He might have a burst lightning. Wild Ride, alright. Well, I guess we're taking 6. Perfect draw. Perfect draw. Warden. Into Zenith. And the next turn, hopefully we can double spell somehow. Either through another land for Appraiser or a draw that would allow us to cast 2 spells. Opponent gets in for 3, no blocks. Got some pump spells. Owie. Hazard. Interesting. Perfect. Take a Battle Mouse. Can this block? It cannot. I think I want 1/1s. And I think I want to see what's on top, and I don't want that. I think I'm gonna get in like this. He's only got... He can Wild Ride with the Hazoret for 1 mana. So we might have to... Okay, we're gonna have to block. It's unfortunate. I gotta put more than just Cosmogrand in front of it, unfortunately, I think. Because his last spell is a pump. Then we die. Good call. We're at 1. He gets to Manifest Dread twice. But I get to regain some life back with Quintorius this turn because Raging Battle Mouse will let me cast... Oh, wait, no. I need a land. Okay, no, that's fine. There we go. Inquisitor lets me cast Quintorius. Quintorius. Let's discover. Perfect. Wow. Could not have asked for a better discover there. Ping the opponent. Okay, is there a way I have lethal here now? If I put the +1/+1s on these tokens, he can't. Yeah, I have lethal. Okay. Whew. Sure. Still only have 2 blockers. This deck is cool, though. This is a cool deck. I like this. Very ambitious. GG's. All right, 2 more wins to Diamond. Let's do it. Gonda. We're on a roll right now, so let's keep it up. Opponent goes first. This feels pretty good, though, if we can find lands. We just need some lands and for our opponent not to have infinite removal. I would like a 1-drop, but I'm not gonna... throw away a hand just because it's not perfect. Charming Prince. Interesting. Opponent's gonna scry 2. So maybe some kind of blink deck? That's not a land, unfortunately. Let's get down a Battle Mouse, because this gives us the highest chance of being able to double spell next turn. Like, if we draw an untapped land, we can play Battle Mouse, a second Battle Mouse, and Cosmogram. Okay, no blocks. During Innocence. Wow. Okay, awesome. All right. Battle Mouse. Cosmogram. And that lets us attack through the Innocence. And then we have some very sweet possibilities next turn. We need more lands, though. Alright, Starfield Shepherd's gonna let him get something for 1 mana. Or a basic Plains. He chooses to get a Pixie. Okay. That's an interesting combo. You can Pixie the Starfield Shepherd so that you can warp it again on a following turn. I wonder if that's what he's gonna do. Now he's gonna pick up the Prince, draw a card with the Innocence, sure. I feel like I would rather have more blockers on the battlefield because he could rewarp that again next turn. So Voice of Victory. And then we get to play Sage of Skies. We're gonna put counters on everything. Get in for a lot. Look at this with 3 mana. Look what we can do with 3 mana. Like, boy, talk about a ridiculous turn. Let's get the lifelink off the board, I guess. We lose one of our Battle Mouse, but he loses both his things. All Fate's Stalker. Okay, that's fun. Lets him hit tokens. And then he can blink it. Interesting. Lifestyle Inquisitor. Get rid of an Appraiser here. And then he can exile Zenith. Yep. Cool. So we're gonna Burst Lightning that. Or sorry, Get Lost that. Then Burst Lightning the Prince. Counters on everything. Get in. Force the block. Put the opponent to 3. Opponent's just gonna get rid of Cosmogram, but she has already done her work. GG. All right, one more win and we're out of platinum. Can we just win these 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row? Cayman. All right, last game into Diamond, hopefully. This hand feels good, so we will keep. Opponent is deciding whether to keep their hand. All right, and being on the play is definitely helpful. So we'll play Lightstall Inquisitor here. Exile something from their hand. Hopefully something good. What is that? Spell Pierce. Okay. Puts them off Spell Pierce for a turn. Verge. Glory Heartlinks. Because what this allows me to do is it allows me to play Battle Mouse next turn, saddle the Lynx. Alright, so I'm going to play Battle Mouse. Actually, he doesn't have a blue. I'm going to go ahead and get down War Leader's Call while I can, and just get in. Because as soon as he finds a blue, War Leader's Call gets harder to cast. He's missing blue mana, so that's good for us. So we're gonna Play Battle Mouse. Ping the opponent. Battle. Get in for 6. Get a plains. Play the plains. Pass the turn. Hold up. Get lost. If he wipes the board here, I might get lost my own thing. Oh, all right, into diamond. Nice. Out of platinum, into diamond. Nice and easy this month. All right, let's see if we can keep it up. Yusuke. Deck is feeling great, man. Deck is feeling great. Opponent goes first. This is a little slow on the draw, but I'm going to keep it because we've got a decent curve. Mono red makes me feel a little better about... Oh, maybe we're playing VV Cauldron finally. VV Cauldron is not nearly as popular in Best of 1, but it is still very strong. It looks like that's what's happening. Witch's Mark, though. Interesting tech there. Let's get Vantage, get Glory Heart down. What did he discard again? A Steam Core Scholar? Okay. So no VV in the yard yet. Opponent gets in for 3, that's fine. Opponent passes, great. Let's go ahead and get down a Cosmogrand. See if the opponent has a counter of some kind. Looks like they do. Or maybe a removal. Okay. Phantom Interference sucks, but it is what it is. We'll get in for 2. Gain some life back. And then hopefully we can appraise her into some goodies. Still feeling okay about this. I mean, Tirsa or Steam Core Scholar here is pretty rough. Yeah. It's because the Mako gets real big. Moonlit Meditation. Okay. Very interesting deck here. Thankfully, we don't have to take pain this turn, which is nice. Praiser into Cosmogrand. I'm not gonna saddle. I'm just gonna get into gain the life. And we can at least block Tirsa. There's a little bit of hope here. If Cosmogrand can live through the turn, then I think we're okay. Definitely gonna block Tirsa with the Appraiser, if we can. Steam Core Scholar sucks. See if he finds it into the Flood Maw here. Or bounce spell of some kind. Discards 2 things, grows the Mako, yep. Alright, we're gonna block, take 7. And then we can start recovering, thankfully, so... play this tap, play Appraiser, get our double cast. Mouse. Make some 1/1s. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's okay, though. I meant to make 1/1s. We're just gonna have to block with the Appraiser again. I was gonna make 1/1s to chump block the Mako, but fear of missing out, sure. It's gonna discard, draw. Discards 3 steps, draws a card. We shouldn't hopefully be able to remove both of these creatures, so we should be okay. I think I'm actually just gonna block with the mouse. It's not impossible he has a way to give trample, but... Alright. Land. Links for some extra life gain. Appraiser. I think this time we put counters again. He might have a counter this time. 3 steps, yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and get in here and here. Okay, I'm trying to think. If I attack with everything, he can just block with Steam Core Scholar on the 5/4 and get double combats with the Mako. And live at 1. He still has to block here not to die. So he has to block, but attacking with the Cosmogran doesn't give me lethal. And he has Delirium, so... Yep, untaps. Let's block like this. Wax and Shape Thief. I don't think that does anything because I can still block the Mako and I'm at 12 even if I couldn't. Okay. I was trying to decide if I should block because I could afford to take it, but then if that's like a lightning strike, so I was debating, but I guess he decided for me. So GG. All right, and we're back for the post-game wrap. So 30 games, 73%. Absolutely stunning win rate. Got us out of platinum and into diamond. Just the deck felt amazing. This is definitely one of my favorite aggro decks that I've played in a little while that's not like, you know, mono green or Simic. I don't play a lot of Boros. So this was really, really fun. And it really felt good. The only things I think is maybe we could afford to add a couple of Sheltered by Ghost to the list, but I'm not quite sure where to make the cuts there. I don't know if maybe we just swap it with Get Lost, but Get Lost felt really good too. But occasionally, of course, those map tokens can definitely cost you games, but it didn't feel terrible. So I would consider maybe swapping Get Lost for Sheltered by Ghost in this list since we are so all in on our creatures. And if our creatures are getting constantly removed, then it's difficult. And Sheltered by Ghost kind of helps protect them from spot removal. So it may be worth considering to swap those Get Losts into Sheltered by Ghosts. But I mean, even with the deck as is, we're still sitting at 73%, 22 wins, 8 losses. 85% on the play, 65% on the draw. We beat a whole bunch of blue-white control and synthesizer lists, the mono-white life gain list we were kind of, 50-50 on. And we just did great against everything else. Like, look at this. We only had one single game that we lost to like a 4-color pile. I think it was a 4-color control deck, actually. And just everything else, green. Positive win rates or break-even win rates. Very, very strong. And this is so fun. As far as crafting goes, there are 2 mythics in this deck right now. The 2 copies of Quintorius Can, which these are not necessary. I just really like it as a late game way to come back if we end up getting board wiped by control. And I think this card won me 2 games against control. So very, very strong, but it's not 100% necessary. And then obviously Cosmogran Zenith is necessary as a mythic, but it's a very strong, safe craft. I would 100% recommend crafting this card. It's good in Pixie, which is a top tier deck, and it's good in this deck, and it's good in a lot of other kinds of decks. As far as the rest of the deck goes, it's mostly just rares. Most of them are more recent rares. The Raging Battle Mice are pretty important, and these are rotating next year, but I would still say they're worth a craft if you're going to play this deck. It's super fun. This is like a very, very strong deck, so highly recommend trying this out. I hope that if you enjoyed watching these games and you found value in the content, you'll take a quick moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every single one of those helps to get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you checking out the content, and I hope that you'll try this out and let me know how you did with it in the comments. So catch you guys in the next one.